Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Jordan Fisher.
I'm Timmons Hatman.
I'm Cypher PK, and this is the May Contain
Action podcast.
Available on Apple, Spotify, Google Play, and more. All right. So this is probably my favorite segment. I think that there's some, you do so much, Ben, that we could have put 1,000 things in here, but I got a couple that I think people would really, really like to hear about. So first thing, and to be honest, this is something I'm super excited to hear about because for some reason I'm so super into learning about people's routines. So take us through a normal day in the life of being Dr.Lupo. Your stream times, what time do you get up? How do you breakfast? You do stream between streams. What do you do? And then you got your son and you got Sam, and you spend a lot of time with your family. We know that. So when is that? Like, how does it all work?
So every day starts at 7 a.m. That is when the light inside Charlie's clock in his bedroom goes from yellow to green. When it's green, he can get up, and so he runs into our room, says good morning, and climbs up on the bed. And for the next 10 minutes, Sam and I start waking up. And we have him run out and feed Aiko, and then let her outside, let her back inside, and then he goes to get dressed. He can dress himself now in the morning, so he does that.
Huge.
Sam gets up out of bed and goes and starts that process of getting him ready. If it's like a school day or if grandma's coming over, whatever's going on, depending on the day of the week. Mm-hmm. And then I get up out of bed. I'm probably out of bed by 7:15. I go and I take my vitamins for the day. Usually eat a banana, a granola bar, and yogurt for breakfast pretty much every single day. And then go in and I take a shower. Do all the normal, I shower during that. Charlie's getting ready. And if it's like a school day, he's playing for a little bit or watching a TV show and having like a half breakfast basically because he has breakfast at school. Sure. I say goodbye to them, make my coffee. Usually Charlie is almost always the one that hits the button to start it because he likes helping with stuff. And if it's a school day, Sam drives him to school. And I try and, he wants to help. I try and be live by 8 a.m. Central every single day. Sometimes it's a little later if there's like an email I need to take care of or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then I stream from 8 to 4 p.m. I try and end at 4 or just a little after or before, depending on what's going on. Maybe it's adjusted for like a meeting, a phone call, a podcast like this, something like that. Mm-hmm. And from 4 o'clock, assuming there's nothing else going on, until 8, that 4-hour block is spent hanging out with my family. We'll have dinner. Charlie and I will play. We'll watch TV. We'll play video games. We'll do whatever. Maybe it's a night where Charlie has to take a bath. We'll do that. Mm-hmm. We start the bedtime process at 8 o'clock. It's always the same order of operations. He cleans up his toys and picks a toy that he wants to take to bed. And then we go inside. He gets dressed for bed and listens to a song, like "Shake Your Booty" or "Can't Touch This" by MC Hammer. That's been another one that we've been
classic lullaby. Yeah.
And we dance around in the bedroom and shake our butts at each other and be silly. And then we read him a story, or he reads to us. He can read exceptionally well for a 4-year-old. It's actually pretty crazy. Awesome. How good he is at reading. Yeah. And then we go and brush his teeth. We do his points for the night. And we've been doing a thing recently where he has 5 different points he can get over the course of a day, depending on what he does. If he gets ready for a day in the morning on his own, like if he gets dressed on his own, that's a point. If he is a good listener all day, that's a point. We've been having problems recently with making it to the potty on time. So if we don't have any problems, that's a point. If he eats all of his dinner without having to play games in order to eat his dinner, that's a point. And if he cleans up all his toys, that's a point. So 5 points. If he gets 5 points, he gets a credit. And credit is basically like $1. And he can use those credits to buy video game stuff on Sam's iPad.
That's awesome.
So he's been playing like Thomas games, and he just recently started playing this Harry Potter game on our iPad and all sorts of stuff. So we do the points, and then we go in, we say goodnight to him, and he gets into bed. And then I'll usually start stream up by 8:30 unless something is going on. Go until 11, and go upstairs, snuggle my wife, watch TV, brush my teeth, and go to bed.
So
that's the whole day. It is that regimented every single day. That's
insane. We need to ask that question more often.
I love it. I love it so much.
I'm realizing two things. One, I'm not ready for children. Not even.
They like scheduled stuff as well. They thrive on that usually.
Yeah,
maybe I'm ready then.
And also, maybe I'm resonating with at least one listener out there. Did anyone else feel bad for the toys that Charlie doesn't pick to go to bed with him at night? I felt a little like, I was like, oh, good for that one toy, but I was like, oh, but what about Woody?
Exactly. It's going to be Toy Story 5.
He takes different stuff to bed pretty much every night.
He does. Okay. Spread around.
And by toys, I mean like not a stuffed animal. His bed is covered in Friends.
Okay.
Dude. So we're talking like this is an extra thing that he plays with for like 5 minutes and then passes out.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fair.
Yeah. His whole bed is covered. If I went and took a picture right now, there's like 2 Pikachus, the entirety of Paw Patrol, a giant stuffed Thomas, like a gorilla from a movie, and there's a ton. There legitimately are probably 25 stuffed animals on his bed right now.
I feel that. I used to surround myself with stuffed animals and lay perfectly still because I thought they would protect me. It was an actual thing. And then I remember waking up in the morning and they'd be all on the ground and thinking, did you guys even do anything? Like, what do you...
They did everything and then they got back in position for you, so you felt like everything was normal when you woke up. You should actually still do that. Tirza would support that in a big way. I'm sure.
100%.
I'm sure.
Honey, we get Mickey Mouse out of the... Okay. She said, shut your mouth.
Oh, good. Yeah, see, like I said, a lot of support coming down the pipe right there.
Yeah. No, that was really, really good.
I'm gonna alley-oop a shout out here. How would this all work without Sam?
Oh, I would be in shambles. I'd probably be in a gutter.
Yeah.
There would be days where I streamed 36 hours straight without showering, and then there'd be days because I'm assuming. Are you saying like if Sam had never been around, or if something changed right now?
Like, just say let's just say she goes on vacation for 7 days.
Oh, now I'm fine
with Charlie.
Oh,
she's trained you well now enough. Now
you would be able to stick with it enough, but like
I would stream through dinner. I probably would not eat dinner.
By about day 7, you'd be like, "Come home."
Right now, it's usually by day 2. The first day is like a party. I'm like, yeah, freedom. Let's go.
We're streaming all day.
I'm like, chat, we're starting at 8 a.m. We're going all the way to 2 a.m., dude. Let's do it. And they're like, yeah. And then the next day, they're like, are you going to stream that again? I'm like, I don't know where my clothes are.
Lupo, have you shaved? What? I
don't know. Of course I shaved. Thank you, Gillette.
Nice.
Right there.
Nice.
Yeah. Friend of the podcast.
For advertisers.
But for real, like she is huge when it comes to keeping me on track with things and not losing sight of what's important. She is my rock. She is my queen. She is everything to me. And without her, I would not have Charlie. So she's the very clearly, and she would agree with this, the second most important person in my life, because Charlie is obviously number one.
As you are to her.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
and just so anyone who knows, we literally got Ben on the podcast through Sam, so he wouldn't even be here without her. So this is working out great.
Well, I mean, she's taken on kind of like, not to interrupt you, Trevor, but like almost full-time manager status in a way, right? Is she like?
She answers all my emails, does all the communication. She's in charge of that stuff. So the business is as much hers as it is mine.
Wonderful. There was a second part of this. Well, I would be remiss if we didn't talk about this really quickly. But as everyone sure as heck better know, you do your St.Jude event every year, your big one. I was very, very honored to be part of it this year. It was so much fun. But I can imagine the type of planning that takes. So So when do you start looking forward? Probably right after that one's over. But moving forward to this year's event, when do you start to like really start to ramp up, like getting everything planning for it?
Probably 4 months out is around when we start like the communication process. I reach out to sponsors that I am working with, that I have worked with, that anybody that's like, anybody that's a friend of the channel, anybody through through Rogue, my esports team, anybody through Twitch, you guys, I'll start planting the seed of, hey, I'm doing this thing. Maybe you want to be around for it if you want. Like the next GCX stream is about 4 or 5 months away. So we're at the point where we're like, okay, what are we going to do for this next one? And I have a pretty wild idea for my block. Yes. And here's the thing. They haven't even asked me necessarily yet if I want to be one of the blocks. If I am, then so be it. There's a lot. And it's always like, what do I try and go bigger? Do I try and do something different? What do I do? Because there's always a lot of pressure from the outside world to be like, well, you did this much last time, you're going to do twice that. And I'm like, imagine having me try to do twice $2.3 million in 24 hours. It makes me want to throw up thinking about how difficult that would be, because there are people that stream for the Games Done Quick. They do like a week and raise like 3 or 4 mil. I'm like, I can't do that in 24 hours.
Exactly.
How? It's not even, what are you talking about? You know,
the energy you'd have to bring to that would be unparalleled. There's no way.
I always try and elevate too. It's like we had multiple guests from St.Jude this year for Build Against Cancer. I had more contributions from sponsors and stuff than ever. Like Logitech put in $80,000 worth of merch that people won. The number of things that people could win literally for just donating $10 to St.Jude was insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's just one of those things. Like, it's a big piece of stream because I, stay humble. According to that guy I'm not from earlier, but as I've said a billion times and will always say, without the people that watch my channel, I wouldn't be where I am. So I feel as though I need to do my due diligence to give back to people to help people who cannot necessarily help themselves. And what better cause than kids who are fighting the worst things in the entire world?
Absolutely. That's amazing. So on behalf of us at the pod and everyone, thank you for doing that. And I can't wait to participate again next. It's beautiful because at least the Build Against Cancer, it's always in the off season. So I'm always going to be able to be around and participate as much as I can. And, I don't know, as this thing goes on, and, you are one person and you only have so much streaming that you can physically do. Start adding people left, right, and middle. And I think that's kind of the next step. But, we'll see. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens next year and how to keep this thing going. It's an amazing thing you do. Keep it up.
Thanks, man.
Awesome. I think this is our favorite part of the podcast, Paul.
Oh, well, did you, I don't want to rush. Why specifically?
Oh, yeah.
I'm very curious about that because I want to know, like, is there some sort of history behind it, or why did you specifically choose St. Jude as opposed to anything else?
So back when I did my very first charity stream, we did 2 in about 4 to 6 months, something like that, for the National Fragile X Foundation, because my brother-in-law, Sam's brother Dale, has something similar to Fragile X, which is kind of like autism and a couple other things mixed together. And so we raised over 2 streams, we raised like $25,000 for them, which was crazy because at the time we're talking like when I had 200 to 400 viewers. So that's a lot.
Yeah, that's huge.
In the middle in there, I did, actually after the second one, I did the midnight to 4 a.m. block for Destiny Community Con. Back is what Guardian Con, which is now GCX, was originally called. Actually, before that, it was called Sweat Con, but that's a different story for another day. Okay. So DCC, I did that midnight to 4 a.m. block, and we raised $4,500 for St. Jude. It's like the hardest block to raise money for. It was like Sunday night or something before people go to work on Monday, so there's not very many North America viewers, that kind of thing. But we did what we could. I did one for Make-A-Wish after that. We did $39,000 for Make-A-Wish. That was 24 hours on New Year's. That was the stream. I don't know if you know about Mike, the story with Mike. Kotaku did an article on it, but there was a guy that was a friend of a longtime viewer of mine that he watched me too, but he had cancer. colon cancer, something down in the back end of the dietary tract. And he had never been flawless in Destiny. So the first run we did for the Make-A-Wish stream, me and my buddy Brian, Ninja with Noel, jumped in with him, and he was super happy. And it was just one of those things that, like, you can't really recreate that feeling. So we ran with him, and we got him flawless, and he was smiling and laughing the whole time. He had a great time. And a few months later, he passed away. His family told me that through the guy that watched my stream, that it had been a while since they had seen him that happy about anything. That he was just through the roof with how ecstatic he was to be able to do what we did for him. Yeah. And I found out a couple months ago that his daughter now watches the YouTube video that I put up of us playing with him because she likes listening to him laugh. And it's one of the only recordings that they have of him being that happy around the time when he was battling all that stuff. And I didn't know that, so obviously the video is going to stay up for forever. I'm never going to pull that away from them. But so that, even though that was a Make-A-Wish stream, I've never had anything with none of my family members have ever nobody I've been connected to directly like that has ever had cancer. I've never had to deal with it directly. You know, my wife and I and my son were healthy, which I consider myself extremely lucky for. But I've seen, talking directly to those people, and I've seen the impact that these things have on those people. And so when St.Jude, after the first one with Destiny CommunityCon came around, did the next one, and I had a day block, and we did $69,000. That was around the time that for me, I was like, I have to do this.
69,000. That's just after you did
4 hours. Yeah. And then not this past year, but the year before that, I had one of the primetime blocks, the 8 to noon, in the middle of the week. Yeah. And we did $362,000 in 4 hours.
What?
And then this last year, I had the anchor block, which is the final block of the marathon. We did 920,000 in 4.5 hours because we got to 4 hours, and Broman messaged me, and I was like, I'm gonna keep going. And he was like, okay, but you can only go for a little bit, because they had already like talked to the Games Done Quick people, because they were doing their week following Guardian Con's week. Yeah. They're like, we're going to host them. But I mean, if you need to go longer, go. And I was like, I'm going to go longer. And and that's that. And so that we got so close to $1 million. It was insane. And we did I did the Bill Against Cancer one last year, and that did 600,024. And then we did this last one, and it did 2.3. We've done shirts for them. As you know, directly for Millionaires and Paul did like $176,000. And we had the All the Work shirt, and I have had multiple Bill Against Cancer shirts. And I've tried every way that I can think of to channel the energy. Like I did my supporter creator thing, and that raised another like 30 grand.
That's right.
And like I've tried as hard as I can to be as supportive of those people, because I was shown directly by both Mike and his family, and seeing these kids in person at St. Jude, that we have a real impact on what they're doing. And on top of that, man, here's the thing. There's a lot of good causes out there. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I would love to support everything. Yeah. You know, heart disease and lung disease and Alzheimer's and, you know, suicide awareness and veterans and puppy dogs and trees and everything. And so the thing that people have to remember is that there are a lot of good causes. The good thing is there's a lot of good content creators that, like Jack Septic guy last year, did a charity stream every month for a different cause every time. That's crazy. And he raised like $1.9 million or something like that in 2019 for all these different causes put together. That's great. So I don't have to put myself into every cause.
No,
on top of that, I mean, you can even hear me talking about it. I'm very emotionally connected to it because now I have a kid, and I've seen some of the scary side of it. When we were at St. Jude last year for the summit, I watched a mom pull their kid down the hallway in a little cart because they just got done with chemo and they couldn't stand up on their own, and they were curled up in a ball in this little red wagon. They had a tablet and they were watching TV. They were in a cart. Like no family should have to do that. No parent should have to wheel their kid down a hallway of a hospital because they're too weak to walk on their own.
Yeah.
Dude.
So
I mean,
there's people out there that like I said, I got that tip today was so funny. It's $5 from some guy telling me to stay humble. I'm like, bro, you don't know anything about what I've tried to do with my platform. And it's not like it's like bragging rights or anything like that. I don't care about that. I don't care about the spotlight around it. Yeah, it's cool that people are like, hey, want to like news articles written about it. That's great. Like people should. It's for awareness.
Yeah, it's awareness.
That's the whole point, is to make people aware.
The point.
If those places never say a thing about me, that's fine. I don't care. I just want people to know that there's people out there that need help, and I consider myself super lucky, which is why I even try and donate like hundreds of thousands of my own money. Like it's whatever for me, because I've found success in a way that I never thought possible. My family's good, man. Like I'm set. We're fine. So I might as well do something with the crazy amount of success and give it to people who can change the world. St. Jude literally changes the world. People don't realize the impact that they have, that all the research that they do at the hospital is shared globally for absolutely free. Doesn't cost anybody a dime. They have raised the survival rate of the top forms of childhood cancer by a substantial amount. And so St. Jude, in my eyes, is like, if I want to impact the world, if I want to take the platform that people have given me and really do something that's going to affect the entire planet in a positive way, might as well help somebody, right?
Yeah. And it's funny, it's the people who say those things like why don't you help X, Y, or Z, right? Whatever it is. If you weren't doing what you're doing, it wouldn't be as forefront of their mind that another cause that they care about needs help. So then cool. I hope that I'm spurring you into taking action to help the things that you care about. And the more people that are spurred into action beyond the money, that's the most valuable thing that can happen. And I think content creators all over the place are following your lead in this, and finding things that they care about a lot. And it's very current for me as well, because we have, as baseball players in not only Minnesota, but in the world, we have a certain platform too, and I've been thinking about how much more I need to do. So you doing all this has lit that fire even brighter under me. So that's the value I get mostly from it. Is we could all do more. You could always do more to help the people around you, and the world needs. You can never, the world needs more of this pod. There's never too much help.
I appreciate that. It's important to know too. Like, there should be no expectation of anybody to do anything. Like, if it's outside of somebody's comfort zone, they just don't want to do it. Whatever it is, that's fine. Like, nobody needs to pressure other content creators to do anything. But if somebody does end up doing a stream or donating money or whatever, you better believe you should be there supporting them and not saying you should do more or anything like that. Because I do see that sometimes where people like Tyler, Tyler and Jess donate a lot of money behind the scenes and don't say a thing, and nobody knows about it. And they think that, and the public, sometimes I've seen people that are like, why don't you do this? And I'm like, y'all don't have to put that pressure on people like that. He didn't have to do anything publicly. He didn't have to.
They're minority. It is what it is. It is the nature of the beast.
People are doing with their money, not live.
Just don't. Yeah, don't assume you know. Yeah. Anyway, it's phenomenal. Proud, man. Proud to call you friend, brother.
Appreciate that.
Well, that just makes me want to do another campaign. That sounds freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's going to be opportunities.
I'll see you at GCX coming up in a couple months, bud. Wink.
GCX. That is Guardian Con. You said that was Guardian Con?
No.
Gaming Community Expo now. but yeah, it's the final hopefully rebrand to GCX, and the convention is phenomenal too. That comes with GCX. It's a good opportunity to meet all these people. We do stuff in person, and if you thought the roast of Tim the Tan Man was good, and I don't know if you guys liked it or not, smile.
Okay.
But we've done multiple at previous GCXs. You know, the event. We roasted Goth last year. They did an award show, and it gave me a lot of opportunities to go in on people. It's a lot of fun, and let me just say this: I'm 3 out of 3 undefeated. So
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah, we're gonna have to at some point. We warmed up now.
Yeah, I'm fine now.
I'll be fine too. Speaking of laughs.